In the cut. In the cut.
Yeah, we are live. What is going on, everybody? We are here live in the cut. This is episode 40. And we are here with a good friend of ours that I can't wait to share their story and their insight. But, just a quick update on, for the people that are tuning in for the very first time. Here at Live in the Cut, what we love to do is really just simply help people get from point A to point B in whatever, endeavor they're a part of, whether it's as a creative or an entrepreneur, and it's usually both. And on this episode 40, we happen to have a good friend of ours from Recovery Mode NYC. And just to give you a little bit of background, he's also a Filipino owner. Shout out to the Filipinos.
Yes, sir.
Right? Just opened up I guess you would say, not revamped, but a new location in Steinway that you guys got to check out. Has been, a doctor in physical therapy, so knows his stuff. And, Keith has been on a mission, right? Keith has been on a mission to change the state of the health in our country with, different approaches using physical therapy and just different ways to heal, the average person going through, daily life with the Recovery Mode brand. So we want to welcome to the Live in the Cut show, my boy Keith, Dr. Keith Lee.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man.
I'm excited. Yeah, thank you, brother.
It's a long time coming. I know we've been planning to be on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
And here we are, man. So, for the people that don't know who you are, kind of just give them a little bit about who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Keith Lee. I'm a physical therapist, born and bred New Yorker. Phil Am,
Shout out to the Phil Ams.
And yeah, I've been a physical therapist for about 7 years now. And it's been quite a journey. Started out in corporate hospital-based care. And in 2020, during the pandemic, I decided to branch off and start Recovery Mode.
Nice.
It was one of those stories where it's like the pandemic kind of pushed me and propelled me to pursue my dream and my goal.
Fire.
So 2020, it started 2020. The idea came, I conceived it, and I started taking my portable, a good friend of mine, CJ, his gym, and just posting up my table at his gym.
Dope. Shout out to CJ.
Shout out to CJ, man. CJ was definitely part of the beginning of the journey. Started out there, and just slowly started getting the culture out there, growing the culture, showing people what I was capable of doing, and helping people out with their pain, with their injuries, and whatnot. So, and then it just grew, and I was able to get my own studio space eventually in 2021. And 2022 expanded into a larger space on Steinway. So this is where we are now. And so it's been kind of like every year has been another milestone, and just super blessed to be here, super blessed to talk about it.
I love that. Hustling.
Trying, man.
So you, backtrack, you were working in the hospital prior to opening up your own space.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the pandemic, COVID had a lot to do with the decision of getting to that point of opening up your own space. But was it always like something?
Yeah, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, for sure. Yeah, entrepreneurship was always something in the back of my mind that I wanted.
Where does that come from?
Oh man, I guess it's just just being around different entrepreneurs and just seeing the freedom, seeing the ability to create.
Yeah.
It's always been a dream of mine to have my own business. It kind of started I wanted to open up my own restaurant at one point, some sort of something, create something, create something for the people, create something that was original. Now I'm able to do that in the health and wellness space. So, which is more than ever important. Post-COVID, the health and wellness space is definitely one that I'm proud to be a part of. So,
dope.
Yeah.
So you got involved. You were doing physical therapy. You were working at the hospital. Which hospital were you at? I
was working in a hospital for Northwell Health System. So I was working in outpatient for Northwell Health System. Big corporate health system, and it was pretty much your standard run-of-the-mill corporate run physical therapy, insurance-based physical therapy.
So it's funny you say that run-of-the-mill, right? Because I remember I had brought my uncle to see Keith sciatica, and honestly, that day, after you treated him, he was like, "This is the best I've ever I felt after that day, right?" When I took him, and I'm like, "Well, haven't you been going to the one that your insurance covers?" And he's like, "Yeah, but they see me for like 30 minutes or so, and it's just not the same attention to detail and things like that. Like, what is the difference? What do you see in the difference there? Like, as far as whether it's like private or getting it through insurance, is there a do you notice the difference? Is there, what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. 100% there's a huge difference. I mean, with insurance-based physical therapy, you're lucky to get 30 minutes one-on-one time.
Right.
You're lucky if you do get that. Standard where I used to work, it was 3 patients per hour. So so you can imagine how much time, that's 20-minute slots.
Right.
So you're juggling people, at the same time, and
person.
Right. Exactly. And a lot of times it didn't work out because a lot of people have complex issues. Mm-hmm. They may have knee pain, but understanding how their knee pain is affecting their life. How is it affecting their quality of life? Mm-hmm. What is this person passionate about? If they're passionate about running, how can I tap into that when I have them for 10 minutes, 15 minutes? I can't really assess anything. I can't really dive into their pain and dive into what they're feeling and dive into their anatomy and mechanics.
It definitely takes more than 20 minutes.
100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes and my treatments are an hour long, and sometimes that's not even long enough.
Right.
So we have to understand that we're dealing with people, we're dealing with their health, we're dealing with their wellness, we're dealing with their mental health at the same time.
Yeah.
So you really need to take that time with that person, and not just look at them as a number, not look at them as a diagnosis, not look at them as knee patient number 1, back patient number 2.
Right.
I got to look at you as Jive.
True.
With back pain, that's a barber that has to stand all day, that has to interact with people all day long. that I have. If I know your story, I can help you better.
I love that. I love that. So, before, so you were doing, that you were working at the hospital doing the gigs. I'm sure you were able to, kind of like me, when I was early as a customer at a barbershop, or just getting serviced as a barbershop, young, like even before I even worked as a barber, I was able to like kind of see, all right, if I ever go to a shop, or if I ever own a shop, I want to change this. Like, I don't like this about the industry, or I don't like, and I'm sure you saw some of that in, being, working, in the hospital, and then doing your own thing, right? Implementing your own, systems and things like that. But, talk to me about the Recovery Mode brand. That's kind of like, I'm curious about, like, and you speak of it passionately.
Mm-hmm.
So how, what can you say about the Recovery Mode brand, and kind of how it started and where it is today?
Yeah. I working in that environment with hospital-based outpatient, I saw a lot of people that had surgery, right? So they were coming out of surgery, recovering from surgery, right?
Right.
And in a lot of these instances, I found that some of these people, if they would have taken care of these issues earlier, they would have avoided surgery.
Yeah.
So I felt like there was a need for people to have access to a physical therapist so they can recover better, and not just wait until their knee is totally debilitated and they can't walk anymore, right?
It's too late by then.
Right. Why are we waiting so long to take care of an issue that we have? Our bodies are talking to us, and the status quo is to ignore it until it gets to that point where we're non-functional anymore. So I found that I created Recovery Mode, and it says it in the name, Recovery Mode. We all have the ability to heal. We all have the ability to recover properly. We got to switch that on. And with the techniques that I use and the modalities that I have, we can turn that switch on. We can turn on that natural ability for all of us to heal, and we all have it. So it's kind of shifting that mindset of, hey, I have pain. I guess that's it, right? Right. And switching that narrative and saying, nah, I'm going to take control of this. Let me turn on my recovery mode within me, and let me have access to that. So that's where recovery mode comes from.
That's so dope, because a lot of people do. It's like, even when you find out about whatever you have, it's because like you develop this what's the best way to explain it? But you develop this sort of mindset where it's like, I'm not gonna go check out nothing until I feel like I'm about to die. Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
I think a lot of that is ego.
Yes, that's probably a better word.
A lot of that is ego driven. Like, oh yeah, when I was 17, I used to get hurt all the time. I could get over this. Let me wait. Let me just, let me live with it.
Right.
Yeah, and and a lot of people are stuck in between where they have pain, right, and they're going through these issues, and they don't want to go to a doctor because they know that what the doctor's going to say.
Yeah.
The doctor's going to say, take some pain medication,
right,
stop going to the gym, stop running, stop doing what you love. People don't want to hear that, right? And the ultimate, thing that people don't want to hear is you need surgery, right? You need surgery.
Yeah.
Right. People don't want to hear that.
Right.
So I think that people, to avoid that conversation, people just ignore it. People just be like, all right, I know what the doctor is going to say.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just see if this will work itself out on its own. And yeah, that's where we are, right? That's where recovery mode's at. You don't have to wait.
Right.
You can see me. You can see a physical therapist. You can see a massage therapist that is skilled and trained and knows how to treat people's pain and help them recover better. So
that's something that I'm like, again, it is ego, and it's something that I battle as just someone who's, even just being an entrepreneur, right? Like,
yeah,
there's a huge connection between health and wealth and, entrepreneurship, right? Like, think about the person who's like, man, I'm a grinder. I'm grinding, so hard till you don't know that it's actually detrimental to you.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? And we get into that mode, especially when you're launching something or when you're in, just going about your daily routines in business. You're just like, man, you know what? If it's gonna be done, it's up to me. And I don't care if I might even have COVID. I might even, I'm going to work.
Right.
And, there has to be a point where we say we need to recover. And, that as well as anybody, people that you work with, people that you're treating, there's that thin line of we can see that you a grinder, we can see that you hustle. You don't got to show us no more. Probably haven't taken a day off in a year. How many people, if you're watching this right now, you're watching the recording, are you that type? Think about it realistically. Have an honest answer with yourself. Like, are you that person that's grinding till it's like detrimental to your health? And kind of like me, I wake up and reevaluate. That's like the first thing I think about. I'm like, yo, I'm alive. I'm breathing. Like, I look around. I'm like, all right, we got our health, and because it's easy to like wake up and it's like, all right, I got to do this. Now I gotta plan for the day. It's like the first thing you think about is like work.
Right.
And, where it's like recovery mode. So then you can work to your full capacity, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I see it like this, and as an entrepreneur, and I'm all about the grind. I'm seeing clients every day and trying to help people out. People hit me up and like, hey, something happened. I tweaked my back. Can you help me out? Yeah. Can you be there for me? Of course, I'm going to try my best to accommodate people. I'd probably say, and it's a balancing act. Everything is balanced, right? I think that when you can tap into listening to your body and respecting what your body's trying to communicate to you, you are then more whole. You are a whole person. You love yourself because I respect that voice within myself. I am one with myself. And when you are one with yourself, you attract everything that is meant for you, right? So if you're the type of grinder that wants to hustle, you focused on that, making that bag, you want to focus on making that money, that's great. Have that. But when you have things going on, whether it be pain, whether it be mental health issues, whether it be whatever it is you're going through, address those things because you got to come from a place of love for yourself first. And then you emit that into the universe.
Right.
And those things that are meant for you will come to you organically, naturally, because you are one with yourself and one with your own nature, which is healing, recovery, self-love, wellness, things like that. So,
dope. Talk about what you guys offer at Recovery Mode, right? Because, Recovery Mode is not the typical place that you walk into for physical therapy or like the hospital. Like, it's a game changer of a location and the location as well, being on Steinway. What do you guys have to offer?
So we specialize in sports manual therapy, so deep tissue work. Basically, the treatments that a pro athlete can get, we try to offer that to the everyday person. So sports manual therapy, deep tissue cupping. We have Normatec compression.
Normatec is the
leg boot, the compression boots.
Nice. For
leg recovery. We have oxygen therapy. We have infrared sauna. Cold plunge.
The cold plunge.
Yeah.
What's the benefits of cold plunges right now?
Yeah. So that's a huge question. So cold plunge is basically you want to expose yourself to the cold, which is a stressor, and you want to be calm going in, working on your breath, and then calm coming out as well. So
the trick is you got to be calm.
Yeah, you gotta be calm. You gotta maintain your breathing, and the breath work is so important with that. You're basically modulating your nervous system. Mm-hmm. So, as New Yorkers, we know we function at a very high level. We're very high energy people, and sometimes our nervous system gets way up here, right? We're on that fight or flight, right? And it's hard for people to come down and get into that more restorative state. So with the cold plunge, you're putting yourself into a high stress situation, which is the cold. You're breathing through it, and you're bringing your nervous system down into a restorative state. So does a couple of different things. Main thing is that, and then obviously the benefits of being cold for like the anti-inflammatory benefits.
Yes. Yeah. I've been seeing it more cold plunges like Kevin Hart has his show with cold plunge. It's hilarious. You ever thought about doing that? Like just having people
and have it, yeah.
have a conversation.
We should. Actually, that's a great idea.
I feel like it would take my mind off of the freezing pain that I'm in at the moment. But so what's the difference between cryotherapy and cold plunge? Because I know cryo is also you're sitting in cold, right?
Yeah, so cryotherapy.
Obviously one is wet, the other one is dry.
Right, yeah. The cryotherapy is like cold air coming at you. And like obviously the cold air mixes with the room temperature air, so it's not a true exposure to cold, if that makes sense. Understood. Yeah, once you're in a cold tub, it's your body versus the water. So there's no cheating.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great way to help people increase their stress tolerance, increase their stress threshold. It also boosts your immune system, and it's great for cardiovascular health.
Do you think that taking cold showers is like similar?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's like I'm exposing myself to something uncomfortable, and I'm remaining calm within that state, and I'm coming out of that calm. That just makes you stronger. It's like comfort zones, right? Like you gotta give yourself a little bit of exposure outside of your comfort zone so you can grow. Mm-hmm. And that's what the cold does.
Gotcha.
So a cold shower, yeah, you want to expose yourself, go through it, start off warm, end off cold, end off 30 seconds to a minute in a cold shower. Okay. Just give yourself a little bit of that stress, but be calm through it, come out of it. Boom. Yeah. You just took yourself outside of your comfort zone for a short period of time, and you're good, right? So
you just confirmed that I'm because I ended them off like hella cold.
Good.
Hella cold. So
we gotta get you in the cold plunge next, man.
Cold plunge.
We're gonna record that for y'all. So
I'm already feeling it. just being here. So yeah, but that's super dope. So listen, if you've been watching this again, whether it's on replay or you're watching this air live, make sure you hit the like button, share this with your friends, share this with somebody who needs to go see Keith at Recovery NYC, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. But what I would like to ask is, you deal with a lot of different types of people coming from all backgrounds. How does health and wealth relate to like entrepreneurs or like the athletes that you're training? Like for me, the first thing I think about is a very popular example, LeBron James. Dude spends over he says it all, it's all over interviews how much he spends, over $1 million, 7 figures just on his body alone. And people don't want to spend a dime to, get just some like a cold plunge PT or something like that. What do you say to that?
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Yeah, the statement "health is wealth," right? You could have all the money in the world, right? But once you're sick, you only want one thing. You want your health back. If you're bedridden, all the money in the world, what is that worth if you're sick, right? So I think that in terms of that, you want to invest in yourself, you want to invest in your body, you want to invest in making yourself stronger and heal, right? And that's pretty much the goal in creating that recovery culture, Recovery Mode NYC. We created that because we want to let people know, like, listen, you have access to heal yourself. You have access to professionals that can help you and guide you and help you grow and get better, whether it be physical goals, whether it be you're running a marathon, whether it be you want to become an athlete. or you're just, you sit at a computer all day long. Like, you're not, your purpose in this world is not to be in pain every day. You don't have to suffer every day, right? Like, and we kind of touched on that before. I think too much of the population is okay with being sick, okay with being in pain, that it's almost like a burden to take care of these issues.
I feel that.
Right?
I feel that so awesome.
So yeah, I mean, again, it does cost money.
Yeah.
You do have to. Some people do have to plan financially. To come and get the service.
It'll cost you more in the long run.
That's true. Yeah.
If you don't take care of it, you know 100%. What I'm saying. So it was, to me, it was like but you actually put it in a very good way. You're affording like what these professional sports athletes are getting, and you're making it available to the everyday person. So that's actually that's super dope. So I definitely want to speak about the business aspect of things as well. We've been on here for a little less than half an hour, so we talked about what you guys offer. Actually, before we even switch to the business aspect of things, you spoke about mental health. You speak about mental health a lot, actually. What's the connection between mental health and how you are using recovery mode to improve mental health as well?
Great question, man. I think that a lot of people's tension and pain does come from a mental health aspect. So, like, let's say someone that has severe anxiety, what happens? They're going to tighten up. They're going to hold a lot of stress in their neck. They might hold stress somewhere else, right? So, there's definitely a huge connection between the mind and the body, and they go hand in hand. So if, let's say, someone has an anger problem and they get angry, right? When you get angry, you tighten up. When you get anxious, you tighten up. Right. When you go through an emotion that your mind can't tolerate, it gets directed into the body, and then it gets stored in the body. It gets stored in the tissues as tension and stress. So there's a lot of people that come into the clinic, and you work on their neck. I start working like, wow, you got a really tight neck, and then you unravel a couple of things, and this person's dealing with severe anxiety. This person can't sleep at night. Their mind is always going, right? Why are they so tight? They're always tense. They're always thinking. They're never calm. They're never present, right? So those are conversations that we have. I've had clients literally cry a little bit, let a little bit out, and it's a release. Just like how I'm releasing muscle, right? It's speaking on something that's deep inside you is a release as well. So they definitely go hand in hand, brother. Yeah, for sure.
And so there's a lot of things that obviously, if you are not able to to visit you guys as often, I know there's a lot of things that people could do at home. We spoke about the cold, ending your showers off cold. Yeah. I'm also big on like the Theragun. Yeah. What are some other things? Is there anything else that like people can kind of do at their crib and again, just the person that's can't visit you as often?
Right. Yeah. I think breath work is a big one.
Talk about that.
Yeah, a lot of people, or even you guys watching, catch yourself how you're breathing throughout the day. If you're in a stressful situation, you might be shallow breathing. You might not even be taking deep breaths. Maybe you may be even holding your breath. Right. So I think being mindful of your breath and how the breath is the way that you communicate stress to the rest of your body.
The breath is the way you communicate stress to your body.
Right. So like if I'm calm, I'm going to take deep breaths. I'm going to exhale. If I'm stressed, I'm going to breathe shallow. I might hold my breath. I'm not going to be taking deep breaths. I'm not going to be taking in that oxygen. And so breath work is a great way to, like I said, take your nervous system from here and slowly taper it down to a more restorative, healthy state where your body's not in stress mode, right? You want to stress is the number one killer,
Right.
Really. If you look at all the conditions in the world, in the United States, a lot of these conditions are stress driven. So breath work is a great way to reduce your stress. If you could reduce your stress, you'll be healthier. Just period.
Yeah. All right. So again, we've been on here for literally half an hour now. So switching on to the second part of this is, I like focusing on, the business aspect of things, and because again, there's a lot of people that were once like myself, young Filipino kid growing up, and I'm like, I'm gonna be a physical therapist for the New York Knicks, and I'm gonna be on the court with them, treating the players, and and obviously life happens, and I found out the medical field wasn't for me, or I wasn't for the medical field, let's just say. But there's a lot of our friends that are like, hey, I want to be a physical therapist one day. I want to, and then move from a hospital and possibly open up my own, location.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to, touch on different things. But before we get to that, if you are watching this is your friendly reminder to pay your chat tax. And make sure you say hello, drop a like on the stream, and share this if this is giving you some value. But I want to talk about the business aspect of where you are today, because again, at one point this was something that was if I was gonna go this route, PT was the way that I wanted to go because I was involved in sports. But for the person that is maybe maybe they could be in school, in college right now, trying to be PT. Maybe they're possibly in high school and they want to they're trying to figure out their degree, things like that. What are the steps kind of to take before they open up their own space?
It's a good question, man. In terms of if anybody watching wants to become a physical therapist, you want to be in it to help people. You have that light inside you, and you want to share that light with people. You have that healer energy. Go for it, 100%. Nice. Go for it. Being a PT is a great way to help people and be in different areas of healthcare. So that's why I love the field, is because you can work in a school as a PT. You could work for a sports team. You could work for the Knicks. Right. You can be an entrepreneur. You can work in a hospital. You can do home care. Right. There's so many lanes that you can choose. So that makes the field diverse and fun, and you can find the niche that you want to really target. In terms of the entrepreneurial side, it's you got to be very specific with your market. You got to be very specific with who you want to help.
Gotcha.
And you have to send that message out very, very specifically. There's no room to be a generalist anymore in today's day.
I love that.
You gotta figure out your niche.
Yeah.
Know how to talk to them and market the hell out of it. And I think that's the formula right there.
So your niche is sports therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So you're targeting, the people that you're coming to help. They're usually athletes, with basketball, football, fighters, things like that. So you found your niche. You said, what were the other niches you mentioned? So
just the active person, just someone that goes to the gym frequently. The active professional, someone that sits at a desk for the majority of their day. A lot of people work from home now. Guess what they want to do when they're done with their shift? They want to go to the gym. They want to do a CrossFit class. They want to do a better body boot camp. They want to go to, do a very high intensity type of thing.
Right.
And we want to fit ourselves and the Recovery Mode brand within the fitness space. So it's like, so we have fitness, we have sports,
nice,
and then we have also the people that are currently sedentary, but they want to get back into fitness. They want to get back into the gym.
Gotcha.
What's limiting them is, I got a bad back.
Right.
Ain't no way I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
Right. So how are we helping those people? That's also a big part of the population.
All the time. All the time.
Yeah.
I hear my boys like, yeah, bro, I threw my shoulder out. You know, I'm scared to get back.
Right.
And it's like, I get it. You know, the first stop y'all gotta make is recovery mode.
Don't be scared, guys. Like,
Yeah.
don't be scared to address yourself, like address your issues. Like, tap into what your body is telling you. Tap in, love yourself. You deserve that. You know, you deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be pain-free. And don't be scared, right? Like, recovery mode is within all of y'all. Recovery mode is that natural, innate healing capability, right?
Yes.
We could create life, right? Like, and I tell this to even a lot of the female clients that gave birth, that have children. You created life. You can manifest healing within yourself. The power that created the body heals the body.
That's real.
So recovery mode is within everybody. You know, recovery mode is within everybody that walks into the door. We tap that button, just like we reset our phones. Our phones are lagging. What do? We shut it off. We turn it off. We let that cycle heal, right? We let the whole system reboot. We got to do that for our bodies sometimes.
And for all the people that's 25 to 30, 40 years old talking about you're done with sports and all that, think about the tito or the uncle that's busting your ass coming down the court today. And this dude is probably like 60 years old and he's still running up and down the court and you're talking about, I don't know if I can do this no more. So to me, it's the funny thing because I picture myself at 70 coming up and down the court. And I know I got to see you a bunch of times for me to make it there. So, so we spoke about you have to have like a niche of who you want to be helping. You also mentioned the marketing aspect, right? And I think you guys do a great job on, with social media. I'm always sharing your posts with all my friends, right? So talk about your social media attack. Like, what is your focus when you're sharing it?
Yeah, I just want to be cut and dry. I just want to show people what we have to offer. We want to show the vibes. We want to show good vibes. Modern, approachable,
very educational.
I try to be educational as well. Try to be a little funny. Try to be a little humorous. You know, it's good. It's nice to laugh at ourselves and laugh at what we do and laugh at our tendencies. But yeah, it's just a mix of kind of the culture, the like a modern sporty aesthetic. I feel like a lot of the culture now, like we want to be in the gym, we want to be healthy, we want to work out, we want to take a class, we want to try different things.
And we want to do all these things after working our 9 to 5, 10-hour day shifts. On top of the strain we already put ourselves through all day. So yeah, I feel that. So you mentioned, so we spoke about on the business end, we spoke about the niche, the marketing aspect. So obviously narrowing those two, having those two things are two aspects. What else did you feel that you needed to have before you said like, yo, you know what, I'm dipping from this, from the hospital field and saying, hey, it's my time now? Or it could have been enough, like you didn't really need anything besides, that push from COVID,
Yeah, a big factor for me from transitioning from the corporate physical therapy, healthcare environment was that I knew I could do better. I knew that the care that I was providing at the time was not it. I knew I could do way better. I know I could impact way more lives. Right. I could make people heal faster, get them better, faster, more efficient. So I knew how I can make an impact on people's lives. And I saw that opportunity and I was like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go to where I'm more valuable and my skills and my gifts as a therapist can shine, really.
I like that. Yeah. And obviously, because you kind of feel confined to like, where you're, when you're in the hospital, it's kind of like, again, you get the 20 minutes and it's like, bro, I could be helping you. I could really be helping you out. But like, I got to go see this guy for 20 minutes.
Right.
And
then on top of that, we have to type up notes. We have to document. We have a lot of insurance verification forms to fill out. So yes, we on top of 3 patients an hour and having them running around the clinic, I also have to think about what I'm going to type. How am I going to make sure that my boss gets paid? Right. And it was a lot of mental drainage that was happening, was because I was using a lot of my creative energy to make sure that these people had the right documentation so that my boss can get paid,
right.
or my corporation can get paid.
Which ultimately took away from you, obviously.
Right. It took away my creative energy. And a lot of times, listen, a lot of times there was a lot of people that didn't even want to be there. There was a lot of people that were there because they got into an accident, car accident. They have a workers' comp case. Their identity shifted from healthy to unhealthy because there was incentive to be unhealthy, because they were being compensated for it. Right. So now I'm working with someone that doesn't even want to get better. So I'm wasting my energy, my effort to help this person. That was it for me. I couldn't do it no more.
Right. Because why would you want to keep seeing this person?
Right.
He don't even want to heal himself. He
right.
don't want to get better himself.
Yep.
Why do I want to cut your hair? You wanted a $15 haircut down the block. I'm not cutting your hair, bro.
That's true. Yo, so true.
That's interesting. You put it out there, because you would think that, like, bro, they paying for this. Like, I want to be here. It's like, what? You don't want to? That's insane to me. So there's for me, the big on the business aspect of things. When I started this journey, I was also very similar. Again, similar to you, I saw things where I was like, I could provide better, or just like, I felt like limited in certain ways. And I was able to, I was like, man, if I have my own space, I can do so and so and the third. And I see what you guys have going on at Recovery Mode. The space looks great.
Thank you, Kevin.
You have someone there with you now as well, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't meet her yet, but I know you have someone else doing PT, right?
Yeah. So Vivian, my partner.
Shout out to Vivian.
Yeah, shout out Vivian.
You, but I'm sure I'll see you sometime this week.
So yeah, Vivian was a huge part of the transition from the small studio space to the big space. We kind of collaborated on that. So me and her are business partners. Dope. And yeah, we have a new massage therapist, Monica.
Oh, there's 3 of y'all.
Yeah, there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 of us. And yeah, Monica has been great, excellent therapist. Check her out too. And it's just we see eye to eye with how we want to change the culture in terms of recovery and having people understand, like, yo, you can heal yourself. You don't have to be in pain. Come see us. We'll guide you. We're not going to tell you, oh, you got back pain, stop going to the gym. We don't want to have that conversation. We want to say, nah, we want you to keep moving. We want you to keep taking that class. We want you to go for that marathon, go get that medal, go play in that tournament. We want you to keep moving. So yeah, like that's pretty much our philosophy. We want people to keep going and keep growing.
And so everyone that's working with you is, more or less on the same page. I'm sure exactly on the same page with you as that. And are there, like, for me, when I hired barbers, I didn't really care too much about previous experience.
Okay.
I just cared about the same thing, like you care about the same things I care about. You care about how the customer feels when they leave here. You care about, just providing a safe space and a community for people to grow and come back. And I say that to say, when you're hiring people on your team, like, where you find, like, was this something that you put an ad up about? This was like, how are you finding the right people on your team?
Yo, truthfully, it was all organic. Like,
nice.
Just like Monica reached out and she was like, hey, can I come shadow you for, can I see what you do?
Nice.
I want to refine my skills. I want to sharpen my tools.
Okay.
And it became from that to you're part of the team,
nice.
So it was a very smooth, organic transition. You know, I think there's a lot of people in the health and wellness field, clinicians, PTs, massage therapists, a lot of these people are seeing the bad side of the corporate world, and they know they can do better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that are probably thinking exactly the same thing that I'm talking about. And I think that's another big part of recovery mode is I want to build a larger team of these clinicians that actually want to help people, want to help the active population and keep them active, right? A lot of the disease in the United States is because people are sedentary, right? So people don't work, like the older population, they don't work out, they don't exercise, you know, they don't focus on their nutrition,
right.
They don't focus on a lot of these other aspects. But then you have our generation who loves going to the gym, loves staying active, loves continue to play ball, pick up, whatever it is. Right. And there's a need to maintain that and sustain that physical health. So I just hope to attract more clinicians. Hey, yo, if you're a PT out there, you want to transition, yo,
this is it. Yeah, this is it, right here.
But yeah, I just hope to organically keep attracting these people that know that they could do better, and that just believe in the culture, believe in the brand, and I love to see it. I love to see where it goes.
Nice. Yeah. So talk about, I always like talking about this is as a business that's also growing, one of the best things I did for marketing was something called Proud to Pay Day, right? Which I basically had people literally come in, whether it was your first time coming in or you've been a customer, you were able to come in and get a haircut service and pay whatever you want. Proud to Pay.
Interesting.
And it worked as far as helping me gain new clientele. It helped, build community. It helped in many different ways that I would have never thought, actually. How are you guys marketing as far as, and growing, your customer base and things like that? Because again, as a business wise, as much as I would want to just continue to work in my business and cut hair and grind, I know that I need to scale it and step outside of my business and do different things to grow. What are some things that, you guys are doing differently that, that someone, like I could possibly have, my own business as a PT, and it's just like, it's not going as the way I want it to go. What are some things that have helped you grow in this past, your past endeavor as opening up your own business?
Yeah, I think connecting with the right people, like that old school thing, it's who you know, right? Send that DM, right? I think when I started, I was just DMing. I think in my search I put New York City trainer, and a whole bunch of trainers popped up.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let me just DM all these people and just say, hey, look, my name is Keith. This is what I do. I specialize in this. I think I could, we could work together. I can help your clients stay healthy. We could work together. And that really worked well because
I'm sure people responded. I'm sure you got ghosted.
I got ghosted a bunch of times. Yeah. But I kept going. I didn't care. But it was the ones that looked at it that were the ones that helped me grow. They were the ones that spread the word. They were the ones that referred their clients to me. And I'm forever grateful for those people that actually, check their the request.
Nice.
Right. Check that. I don't know who these people are. Like, right. So honestly, for anyone out there, like, send that DM. Don't be afraid. Send that email. Make that cold call if you have to, old school.
Yeah.
Know your worth.
Exactly.
Because when you know your worth, people feel that. People know, people see like, okay, this guy knows he's talking about. He's a professional. He has the skills and he has the tools. I see that. So definitely, like, in terms of like the Instagram, make sure your Instagram shows your skills, shows what you know. And then people look at that and And yeah, either they vibe with it or they don't.
Right.
And if they don't vibe with it, those people aren't for you anyway. So it don't matter. Like, so yeah, don't be afraid. Network. Do a free session here and there. Hey, check me out.
Yeah.
Check me out. This one's on me. And if you mess with it, perfect. Let's continue to grow this connection. So it was a lot of that. And
were you doing so before you opened your space? Again, like before I had the barbershop, obviously I was working at a shop before that.
Right.
But even before I was working in the shop professionally, I was taking my clients, the house calls and things like that.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you were doing you took your table and you were doing things outside. Like, how was that like?
Yeah, it was a grind, man.
What were you doing exactly?
Well, I was doing a mixture of going to the gym, going to my boys' gym,
your boys' gym, right?
And then I would also rent. I would also pay per session in another gym on Steinway Fitness Lounge. You pay per session for everyone that you saw. So I did that a little bit. I did a couple of house calls.
Nice.
A little mixture of everything.
Getting your feet wet, grinding.
Yeah, moving here to there, checking out a couple different gyms, taking my table to different gyms, connecting with the population in that gym, and yeah, the work speaks for itself. Eventually, people see the value in what you do, and they appreciate what you do and who you are, and you. As long as you are authentic with everything and you're not trying to be somebody, you are who you are, and you embrace that and you connect that with your craft or your skill, you're gonna be successful.
So I know you guys are in Astoria.
Yeah.
Would you grow up around here, or was that strategic that you were like, yo, I'm going Steinway, there's a bunch of gyms, fitness, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I felt like Astoria was always busy. I felt like I chose Astoria because, like, throughout the pandemic, like Astoria was always popping. Like during the pandemic, like there was still a lot of people Miami, like it was like crazy. Astoria never a lot of stores closed on Steinway, right. But it was still live and so like I connected with that. I every time I go to Astoria, I always felt the energy. I just felt the culture, a lot of diversity there, a lot of good food too. So it was a blessing to be there. It's a blessing to be in that neighborhood. I love that neighborhood too. Like it's a very tight knit neighborhood too.
For sure.
People are really close in Astoria. It's just a great community.
I mean, when you mentioned that you were next to the Planet Fitness, I was like, that is genius. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that was by accident. That was pure luck. That space was available and it worked out. So nice. It was weird. I think I found that space like at 3:00 in the morning. I was like, I woke up. I was like, let me look at office spaces, and it popped up. And
nice.
Trust those things. That in the when you wake up in the middle of the night with a thought, write that down, because those are where a lot of good things happen.
Yeah.
Don't deny those late night thoughts.
Nice. All right, cool. Well, listen, man, we've been on here for about an hour, man. As we close this out, what I would really like to do is one, kind of share if you guys have any, projects going on, events, things like that, where people catch you. And then, share something that you want to share with the people. We've been preaching this whole time to, recovery mode is within yourself. But something that you want to share, with your community, something that you want to share, with the people, the word. But yeah, where can they connect with you?
Yes, so the IG, you can follow us at Recovery Mode NYC. If you have any questions, you got anything that you're going through, hit us on the DM. Send a question, any concerns. If you're dealing with some sort of pain, feel free to reach out. We'll try to consult you to the right way and the right approach to address those issues. You can also on the Instagram, we have email and the phone number there. You can always give us a call, send us an email as well.
Do you guys have any events coming up, or do you guys have any like special events going on in the store people should check out?
Yeah, so once a month we do a Wim Hof breath work and cold plunge workshop. So it's a 3-hour workshop where we give an introduction to the Wim Hof technique, the breath work technique.
Are you teaching this or?
Oh, that's my buddy Mike.
Okay.
Shout out to Mike. He's a certified Wim Hof instructor, and he comes once a month. Right now, we're trying to up that number, but for now it's once a month. And yeah, we do the breathwork course. We do a nice little PowerPoint presentation. We educate you on the anatomy, the physiology, the benefits, and we do a breathwork session. And then from the breathwork session, we apply that breathwork knowledge into the cold plunge. And a lot of great things happen like that. That if you guys want to level up, and if you want to level up your fitness, you want to level up your stress management, you want to level up your cardiovascular health, sign up for that class because it's a life-changing.
When did you say the next one was?
Then I believe it's February 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. It's probably I think it's the 3rd week of February.
Just DM you.
Yeah, hit us on the DM. We post updates on the IG. So give us a follow. And yeah, send us a DM if you have any questions. We post updates on there. I definitely want to do more events for sure. But for now, we're doing the breath work, and we hope to expand more educational workshops for y'all too.
Dope. Last thing, I always ask this: if people that are part of our network, the Live in the Cut community, see this episode and they're like, "Yo, we want to go check out Keith. We saw you guys on the show." Is it possible they get some sort of discount if they say, "Hey, we're from Live in the Cut community"? You could completely say no, but I always have to ask.
Yo, if you guys say that you saw this episode,
yes,
I'll give you 25% off whatever is your service. We also have products in our store, so we have pain relief creams, we have recovery tools, we got like massage guns. Yeah, say that you saw the episode. We'll hook you up 25% off your entire purchase / service fee, whatever it is.
My brother, I appreciate you, bro.
Of course, anytime, man.
Listen, we've been on here, man. This is Live in the Cut. We're here with Recovery Mode NYC, Dr. Keith Lee. It's been an amazing episode. We'll be back here next week, Wednesday at 9 p.m. With another special guest that I can't wait to share with y'all. But yeah, if you guys want to connect or be on the show, make sure you check us out at inthecut.live. If you have a business that you want to share or a story that you want to share, make sure you hit us up. And we can share your story as well, man, because again, our goal is to really just help someone to get from point A to point B with the stories, everyday stories like ourselves. So we appreciate you for jumping on Live in the Cut. Peace.